Batman, 1966, once felt colorful, harmless, and eternal. The kind of show you thought would never age, and memories that hurt more than they comfort. This isn't nostalgia. It's a reckoning. Adam West as Batman. Bruce Wayne. Adam West was born on September 19, 1928, in Walla Walla, Washington, USA. He was 37 years old when Batman premiered in 1966, stepping into the role of Batman/Bruce Wayne, the deadpan superhero who anchored one of television's most recognizable pop culture phenomena. Before the cape, West was a capable dramatic actor, with films like Robinson Crusoe on Mars, 1964, suggesting a steady upward path. West went through 2 divorces before finding long-term stability with his third wife, Marcelle Tagandleer, whom he married in 1970. As lead roles faded, he endured years of career frustration and financial pressure. Instead of resisting the image, he learned to own it, reinventing himself through voice work and self-aware comedy, most memorably as an absurd version of himself on Family Guy. Adam West died on June 9, 2017, in Los Angeles, at the age of 88, after battling leukemia. Burt Ward as Robin as Dick Grayson. Born July 6, 1945, Burt Ward entered the world in Los Angeles, California, USA. He was just 20 years old, cast as Robin/Dick Grayson, the energetic sidekick whose acrobatics. Ward went through 3 divorces, each coinciding with periods of career instability and emotional strain. Attempts to revive momentum through television guest roles and the animated Batman series brought brief visibility, but never a true comeback. By the late 1970s, he largely stepped away from acting, carrying both gratitude and resentment toward the role that made him famous and cost him everything else. As of 2026, Burt Ward is 81 years old. He lives quietly, dedicating his later life to animal welfare and occasionally appearing at fan conventions. Julie Newmar as Catwoman. Julie Newmar, born August 16, 1933 in Los Angeles, California, USA, was already 32 years old when Batman debuted in 1966. Stepping into the role of Catwoman, she transformed into one of television's earliest symbols of sensual power and unapologetic female autonomy. As the years passed, she turned down roles, retreated from the spotlight, and focused on caregiving, even as physical challenges mounted. As of 2026, Julie Newmar is 92 years old, living quietly with ongoing health issues and rarely appearing in public. Cesar Romero as the Joker. Born on February 15, 1907 in New York City, Cesar Romero was 59 when Batman premiered in 1966, bringing to life a flamboyant, cackling Joker whose theatrical menace became a lasting pop culture icon. He never married, fiercely protected his privacy, and carried the burden of being permanently associated with a role that, while iconic, froze him in the public imagination. He continued working steadily through the 1970s and 1980s, but always as a nostalgic figure, respected, recognizable, and quietly sidelined. Cesar Romero died on January 1, 1994, at the age of 86 at St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica, California, due to complications from blood clots while being treated for bronchitis and pneumonia. Burgess Meredith as the Penguin. Burgess Meredith, born November 16, 1907 in Cleveland, Ohio, USA, was already 58 years old when Batman premiered in 1966, taking on the role of the Penguin, a grotesque, wheezing mastermind. As the years passed, Meredith's health declined, and the sharp mind behind the Penguin slowly began to fade. He battled Alzheimer's disease, losing memory and independence, while also suffering from melanoma, a cruel double assault that stripped away the vitality that had fueled a career spanning 6 decades. Burgess Meredith died on September 9, 1997, at 89 years old, at his home in Malibu, California, from complications related to Alzheimer's disease and melanoma. Frank Gorshin as the Riddler. Born April 5, 1933, Frank Gorshin came from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. He was 33 years old when Batman debuted in 1966, exploding onto television as the Riddler, a manic, twitching villain whose nervous energy and sharp intelligence. Through the 1970s and 1980s, Gorshin's life turned turbulent. He struggled with bipolar disorder and episodes of severe depression, cycling through periods of isolation and recovery. Work came in bursts. Appearances in projects like 12 Monkeys, 1995, late in his career, briefly reminded audiences of his range, but nothing restored the momentum he once commanded. Gorshin's final live appearance was in Say Goodnight, Gracie in Memphis, where he portrayed George Burns. After the performance, he flew back to Los Angeles on April 25, 2005, but suffered severe breathing difficulties during the flight and required emergency oxygen. He died 3 weeks later, on May 17, 2005, at age 72, from lung cancer complicated by emphysema and pneumonia. Yvonne Craig as Batgirl. Born May 16, 1937, Yvonne Craig came from Taylorville, Illinois, USA. She was 30 years old when she joined Batman in 1967, becoming Batgirl, television's first female superhero to fight crime on equal footing. Unlike many of her peers, she did not trade on nostalgia. She chose privacy, living with dignity while her image remained frozen in reruns and fan memory. Yvonne Craig died on August 17, 2015, at the age of 78, from complications related to metastatic breast cancer. Alan Napier as Alfred Pennyworth. Born January 7, 1903, Alan Napier came from King's Norton, Birmingham, England. He was already 63 years old when Batman premiered in 1966, cast as Alfred Pennyworth, the dignified, soft-spoken butler whose calm intelligence quietly held Bruce Wayne's double life together. In later years, roles faded, his health declined, and public recognition disappeared. While the show lived on in reruns, Napier himself slipped into obscurity. With no comeback, only a quiet withdrawal after a lifetime of steady, uncelebrated work. Alan Napier died on August 8, 1988, at the age of 85, at Berkeley East Convalescent Hospital in Santa Monica, California. Neil Hamilton as Commissioner Gordon. Neil Hamilton, born September 9, 1899 in Lynn, Massachusetts, USA, was already 66 years old when Batman premiered in 1966, portraying Commissioner James Gordon, the upright, rule-bound face of law and order. Commissioner Gordon became his last defining role, authority embodied by a man quietly losing control of his own body. Neil Hamilton died on September 24, 1984, at the age of 85 in Escondido, California, after suffering a severe asthma attack. Madge Blake as Aunt Harriet. Madge Blake was born May 31, 1899 in Kinsley, Kansas, USA. She was already 66 years old when Batman premiered in 1966, cast as Aunt Harriet, the warm, fussy maternal presence. But the strain never fully disappeared. During Batman's run, Blake's health declined rapidly. She suffered multiple strokes, which increasingly impaired her ability to perform. By 1968, her condition worsened to the point that she could no longer continue on the series. Madge Blake was admitted to Huntington Memorial Hospital, where she died on February 19, 1969, at the age of 69, from a heart attack. Nearly 6 decades later, Batman, 1966, no longer feels colorful. It feels fragile. Time turned heroes into memories, villains into legends, and laughter into silence, leaving behind a cast that paid dearly for immortality on screen. If these stories moved you, stay with us, because every smiling classic hides a truth worth remembering. Truth